Good evening, Grafton, and welcome to the January 6th, 2026. I said it right. School committee meeting, and I call the meeting to order. We're going to start with public comment. Do we have any public comment today? All right, seeing none, I'm going to move into general business. The special education update is actually going to take place at our next meeting on the 20th. So we'll start with the calendar.
All right. All right, it feels like the 10th time I'm bringing this to you, but before break, at least once or twice, we put this very draft before you. I haven't made any changes. As I said back in December, it was about as a straightforward a year as I can remember. Tuesday the 3rd, that's when we're going to have the parent conferences, and it's largely that day because that's an election day, and we were requested to not have full school in terms of student parking, et cetera, on that day. But I haven't made any changes. I didn't hear from anybody about any concerns or what have you, but it's very, very straightforward.
Okay.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the Grafton Public Schools 2026-2027 calendar as presented.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any questions, comments, discussion? Yeah.
Dr. Cummings, how happy are you that Halloween does not fall during the,
That it's great.
That it's on
I
a
wish that
weekend.
was every single
How thrilled
year
is that?
it was a Saturday.
So we don't have to
any
argue.
day but a school day.
Perfect.
yeah,
Yeah,
No,
that's a
well-
good thing.
no questions.
All right. Let's take it to a vote. All in favor?
Okay.
Great. Motion carries. Fiscal year 27 town budget and 5-year forecast.
Yep. So as you know, we had expected, you might have mentioned this at the beginning, but we had invited Evan Broussard, the town administrator, to come and go through his slides, the same slide deck he shared with FinCom and the select board. His assistant, William, has the flu, so he's unable to leave his meeting to come up here. And I let him know that based on your feedback, we could reschedule or not, or however you want to move forward.
Okay. Did he provide any materials for us
He
to
didn't.
review? Okay.
He broke a promise. He said he was going to send his slides, and he
And he just
didn't
wasn't
do
able
so.
to with
But
everything. Okay.
if I get those, I can share.
Yeah, I think we should reschedule that and we can figure
For
out
the
offline.
20th? Or
And
we
if
can
he-
talk
If he
about
can do the 20th,
Okay.
great, but if we need to figure it out offline, we can. I just think it's an important conversation.
Okay, sounds good.
Or it may be covered next week when we meet jointly, so
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
see how that
possibly.
goes. Okay, great, thank you. So then we go into your goals.
Yeah, I don't have much, but I do want to just give a brief update. So I had that Herculean goal of getting into 1,000 classes over the course of the school year. I'm up to 278 classrooms as of 1/5/26. Had a really good month in there. It seems like forever ago, but maybe October. Once HR stuff and budget stuff hit in December, my climbing up Mount Everest has slowed significantly, but I will stick with it. I probably won't hit 1,000, but that's okay. I do like
278
that there's a
so far.
goal, and I've been thinking about it every day. That's the best part of the day, bar none. It's getting out and doing it in a purposeful way where you're not just walking around looking at your phone, kind of half doing other work and half there. So chipping away at that. So, yeah, I mean, that ties into communication. Again, I'm not killing it, but for old-timer Cummings, I'm doing all right. Created an Instagram account. I don't use it particularly well. I don't really say how to use it. I have been kind of getting the Facebook page. The student assistant group, we're in the process. I think I explained at some point that we've got some high school juniors and seniors, and maybe a sophomore in there, helping me with communication. The initial thought of them like going around the district to make up stories, or not make up stories, but to cover stories All sounded good when we talked about it at the very beginning of the year. The hard part is the majority don't have licenses. They don't have that time in their schedule to go out and, do the work. They spent like a month just piecing together a really good report on the need for a high school roof. Middle school roof. And they've got photos and videos, and they've interviewed different people. It's great, but it took them like a month. So we're going to now shift to having them focus on the people, the students and the staff that make the district so great. That's a little more doable. They can walk over to the middle school. Obviously, they're at the high school. Once in a while, they could get down to the other elementary schools. And all of them went through our system, so they know a lot of individuals. So you can look for that, but I think I'm doing okay with both schools.
Anyone have any questions, comments? All right. Let's make
What's next?
One for the record books. Staff attendance.
Staff attendance. I put this on the agenda for two reasons. One is to own an error. As the HR director is 100% on me, so I want to own that. And then I wanted to share the corresponding change in the data once we fixed my errors. So for years, I don't know how long, but as long as I can remember, the state has always collected at the end of the school year, they collect all the staff attendance data. They've historically never done anything publicly with that. Since COVID, we've talked about attendance of students and staff since COVID. Nationally and certainly statewide, it has never bounced back. Is that?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
having
Yes.
a-
Okay. I was thinking I was echoing. It was driving me
No,
crazy.
it's in the control.
yeah, I think they're just training someone new, maybe?
With the megaphone?
I think
I don't-
it's definitely like an echo chamber in there.
Yeah, I think,
Something.
yeah, they
Yeah.
don't know that we can hear. But now they do. Quiet coyote.
I just never.
Thank you, Delaney.
Did not get it.
Delaney.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are
Thank
on
you
the same
very
page.
much, Christy.
Thanks, Christy.
Thanks, Christy. Staff attendance. They had never made it public before. That's where we were.
Yes, they had never made it public. They published it. Their first time doing it. Anytime that they've collected data and shared the data, I'm not blaming them. It's typically year one is a bit of a mess. Unlike, say, MCAS, where everybody's taking the same test, using the same tool, putting the data in, and you get the results. There are so many, there are probably over 50 different software systems that districts use to collect and process their data. We use one called ReadySub. It's been fine. It's affordable. It's been fine. But this isn't the Cadillac of systems. It's just not. And in the past, it's really been okay. It's met our needs. So with that, we take all the ReadySub report from the end of the year and send the same report to the state. They basically publish that on the DESE website and different media sites, report on it, etc. So the report is really broken down into three groups: administration, teachers, and support staff, and all staff. So they report on that. When I looked at it, the one that stood out to me as in a negative way was the teacher data. And I know, like our entire staff, administration included, there's plenty of room for growth with attendance. It was like 98th percentile, like near the bottom. And I knew that it just didn't seem right. So I went to our tech department, met with them. Jamie Cardinal really takes the lead on all things data. But Jamie and Maureen Malloy, our tech coordinator, spent over a week just grinding through the data. I had them go through every single individual. And what we found out that pertained to the teacher unit in particular were two things. Professional development was being counted as an absence. So if someone, a fourth grade teacher, went to work and spent that day in either in-district or out-of-district professional development that we asked them to participate in, that was being recorded by the state through our system as an absence. So that was one thing. The other thing was any split staff. So that's somebody that goes between two buildings. Most of our ELL staff, for example, might work at Millbury Street and then go over to North Street. If they were out any given day, it was recorded as 2 absences. So we made that correction. I'm showing it to you here. I put it in that attendance memo that I shared, but we go from that 98th percentile to like the 67th percentile. And you'll see the range that I'm showing here. The range is fairly tight. 92.9% in Westboro, up in, this is the area districts, of course, to 97.7. I put Sutton in yellow. Like, our data was erroneous on the negative side. It wasn't a huge change, but it was a change and made us more positive. Sutton definitely does not have an average of 0.6 absences a year. They just don't. There were a few cities reported as 0 absences. That obviously wasn't the case. So I do expect over time that the state's going to they're going to get better at, I think districts are going to be better. I mean, we're going to go through every single individual before we put it in next year. I also won't be shocked if at some point they have some kind of uniform software system that everybody's using. So it's the same. So I'm owning the error and apologizing to our teacher staff in particular. I've been working with the union leadership on just different ideas for boosting attendance, looking at best practices. I'd love to tell you that some district in Mass or anywhere else is just killing it, and they've done X, Y, and Z, and wow, they have like perfect attendance, but that just hasn't been the case. So we're working on it. I expect in the spring to report back on some of those efforts. Any questions on attendance?
Anyone have anything? Okay, great.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
And I would like to think in the future when, or if we do have an HR director, it won't come to this. It's going to get caught by a better HR director than me.
Well, all right.
It's,
Can I-
it's just, it is
Go
what
ahead.
it is.
I feel like I'm channeling Rebecca. She's not here. I have so many thoughts about this, and I'm not going to go into it, but it's on the agenda. Number one, I think it's really strange that the state decided to make all this data public, and I didn't see it done on any other profession. I didn't see a police or anything else.
Right.
Yep.
I think it's odd, number one. I think, of course, better attendance is better for our students, all things, we want that. Yes, of course. And also, that's part of the package that we were giving for years was days off and sick days. And we can't have the same conversation that people are throwing at us about the budget that you have to do something. So this kind of frustrates me. I think that, and like you throwing, thank you for owning a mistake. It was a mistake, and it got so much press, and people feel the need to comment on it. And I'd rather we just spend our attention on trying to, hopefully make people healthy and our school, and able to come to school. So that's all I'm going to say. But it's really kind of bugging me. Not you, just the thing.
If it's me.
It's not you. No, you had nothing to do with it. But there was a mistake made. Okay, like it can cut
agree.
people some slack.
It is a weird thing.
It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah. Well,
there's a-
people have lives.
If
They
there's an
have
issue with
families.
attendance, then it's up to the principals to deal. It's like, why is ugh. Anyway,
Okay.
sorry.
Thank you for representing Rebecca.
I feel like, I don't know, poor Rebecca probably disagrees with me, but
I
I
got
feel like
it.
she would make a statement. I'm making the statement.
Fair. Great. Anyone else want to respond to Laura's statement?
Great job, Laura.
Thanks, Quincy. Ugh,
All
just bugs
right.
me.
Well, and I
I
definitely,
value my own personal sick days, so.
I like supporting our teachers, for sure, right? I mean,
Well, and yes, there's
Yeah.
multiple things, but it's just weird. Like, everybody has to have an opinion. and I don't see it done, and I'm sure it's because it's, there's childcare issues, 'cause
Yep.
it's a majority fee. I'm gonna stop. Let's move forward.
Yep.
Thank you for all the work you've done on this.
Okay, we're going to move. to
Sorry.
Another passion topic. So before we get into it, I just want to kind of set some ground rules for discussion around the budget and the potential reduction budget. This is a hot button topic. We all feel very passionately about it. I'm going to ask a couple of things. One, that we ask questions, not make, sort of incendiary pronouncements or, demean the work that has been done to date by the professionals who have been working on the budget, and that we assume good intent amongst ourselves and that we are kind and respectful to each other and staff, because we get heated, me especially. So I'm just going to set those ground rules. Take it away, Jay. Nobody likes this discussion.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Patriarchy.
I want to start by saying I want to stress the preliminary piece. This will be the earliest in 15 years that we've talked about reductions. On the municipal side, I've met a number of times in the past few days with the town administrator. He's planning on talking about, he's going to get more direction from his committee tonight, the select board, about reductions, but we've been a little bit ahead of them in terms of budget development, in terms of pacing. So I'm expecting that on the 20th of January, sometime in January, he will start to have this discussion publicly. So with that, just another reminder, it's January 6th. This is my best thinking as of January 6th. That's hopefully going to get just improved and refined as we move forward. And as always, I'm totally fine with being interrupted as we go. So to kind of set the stage and look at this in a big picture sense, I want to start by talking about the preliminary appropriation. So that's the total ask, if you will. And we've been talking about a level service budget of $50.5 million. Okay, that's what we've been talking about for the past few months. Right now, and it would have been nice if Evan had been able to make it, but he would have gone through his spreadsheets and basically got to that he anticipates the schools being appropriated somewhere around 49.3 to 49.5 million for the coming year. That's what, based on what we have for revenue as a town, he thinks he can appropriate to the schools. So there's an obvious delta or difference between those two.
Sorry.
Yep,
Dr.
fire away.
How is he coming up? So the question, I guess, becomes, in the past, we've been allocated 59% of the town budget. The 49 million is no longer at 59%. It's at, sorry, just give me a second. It's 53%. So that is so the question then becomes, I guess, in addition to that, which I was hoping to have asked Evan this evening, and I don't want this to become a talking point, but the direction so far is very unclear with the town, whether it's almost stated as a school override or a town override. Because if it were a town override, which is what I personally believe it should be, it would be the same amount deducted for every area. And so when we're looking at a preliminary reduction budget, if we took 59% of what the deficit is, of the 1.4 million, our school department should be hit with $843,000. And so it's very difficult, given that Evan is not here, to talk about a reduction when this is a big difference in numbers that we're looking at. And nobody has so far been able to answer me this question. It's not for lack of asking, as to what we would be hit with. So
I can tell you
I asked you yesterday,
what we'd be hit with.
yeah, with versus the 60%. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes. So I think you said last year we were at 59%.
Yeah.
So we've been buoyed by a few things. We had the 2 overrides.
Right.
After that excess levy was exhausted, we've had 2 years since then. So 1 year, we filled it with over $1 million in revolving accounts. So that just kept us afloat. And then the year after that, we spent out circuit breaker. So we have nothing left to keep us afloat, and neither does the town, if you will. So that number is going to be less. It's going to be, I think,
The
you said
53.
53. That doesn't surprise me in the least.
Okay,
We're
so-
saying to get to 59, I'm going to guess it's about 1.4 million in total.
Okay.
And what was the second?
So it's a definitive that the schools are 1.2 out of the 1.4. That's what you're
I'm going
stating.
to get somewhere in that range.
In approximation.
I'm very comfortable with. The one thing to remember is a big, and I'm certainly not Evan, but a big chunk of that additional cost above and beyond the school appropriation is healthcare costs. As you know, that's a huge driver. About 78% of all town employees are school employees. So if you just think about just equity, I do fully expect us to take 78% or roughly that of that giant cost. So I think it's going to end up it's January 6th, but in my discussion after we met yesterday, it feels like a week ago, I think the schools will be about $1 million. This is without, and we can talk about unemployment. But that aside, I think the schools will be looking at about 1 million and about 400,000 on the municipal or town side.
Okay.
I'm very confident with that today.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate the answer because as of this morning, it seemed very,
Well, I talked to him yesterday afternoon, and I hadn't.
no, I know I talked with Kathleen
Yeah, and I
today.
hadn't.
I know, it's just a miscommunication.
Okay. Okay. So
Madam Chair, can I just,
this is my first slide.
no, I just,
Well, I'm kidding.
I wanted to talk a little bit because
I'm
I
kidding.
thought Christy brought up good issues, and I think some of it is stuff we have to discuss with the select board next week. The messaging of it, if people are going back to that school versus town, that's a shame. That's something we need to correct and hopefully bring people up to speed. It surprises me because, and I know I missed our first meeting with them, that's the same board as last year. We have one new person on our board, so it's the same people. It's baffling to me, but yet here we are again. So that's something we need to work on and really, help people understand that schools are part of the town, a big part of the town. It's my understanding that I think Evan had asked the select board to come back with a recommendation. They could certainly come back and say, hey, we want to fully fund the schools, but that means we're going to have to cut. I won't make anything up because that's not my job, but they'll have to cut stuff from the municipal side of things. I doubt they would do that because we want a fully functioning town. So, but I think it's our job next week, if we're hearing that kind of messaging, to make sure that we hopefully can get everybody on the same page. And if we have to educate again, then we have to educate again because we know there are new viewers just tuning in also. So,
Yep.
thanks. Sorry, I'm passionate.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
So that was the biggest picture. So if the target is 1 million to 1.2 million, we do need to be cognizant of potential additional costs. You may remember from last year when if we reduce by one full-time equivalency, so a full-time position, through Evan, last year, I think it was 18,000 or 18,500 we set aside for unemployment costs. So I'm going to speak to that, but that's what that number is. It may not come to fruition. I'll try to, right now I know of a couple people retiring. Of course, we'll try to make that correspond if we do have to make reductions. I think there were maybe 2 out of our 6.5 reductions last year that filed for unemployment. But in talking with Evan, that's rightfully, we should plan for that. Do you have a
Can
question?
you say that again? 2 out of the 6 people filed for unemployment? People just didn't file for unemployment?
No, they got jobs.
Oh, they got jobs.
Yeah, yeah. Which
Right.
sometimes it's really easy, but as you know, sometimes.
Thank you. Sorry,
Yeah, they
so
just
they
don't.
just didn't have to file,
Correct.
but we have to be
correct.
prepared if they do. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
that's the idea. So as we go into this, just know that piece I'm setting aside is an additional cost. It's like a cost on top of the reductions.
Dr. Cummings, of
yeah.
those 2 that filed for unemployment, do you know how much they collected on? Okay. Are you're going to speak on this unemployment section?
Kind of. We'll see if it's to the degree to which you'd like me to, but sure. So in my initial thinking, I ended up at roughly, and this is January 6th, rough, of almost $1.1 million in reductions. There is no question in my mind that what's going to be impacted is class size and program. So any additional services.
Dr. Cummings,
Yes.
are you done with your unemployment section? Can I ask you a question on that?
Yes.
Okay, the question is, and it was a question that I posed to you and to Kathleen, and it seems difficult. The benefits for our employees are covered through the municipal side,
Yes.
correct? One of those benefits is unemployment insurance. We do not carry a line in our budget for unemployment.
Yes.
Wouldn't the municipality side cover our unemployment?
No.
Why?
They do have some money set aside, but it's certainly not close to being able to cover a wide scale. Let's say this, I'm making this number up. Let's say they need to reduce by 5 individuals, and we look at 14. Like that type, that's 19 people.
Then why wouldn't we be carrying a line in our budget for unemployment,
ours?
just as we carry a line for retirement?
I mean, suppose we could. This isn't an annual thing. This is a crisis.
But I understand that, but you have unexpected unemployment come up, like a teacher may be laid off for reasons outside of an override.
Sure. Yep. And I think you probably talked to Kathleen about that today. We could have an other account that
Right, but
has $1 million in there. That
in her and our discussion, it seemed ambiguous as to whether or not the school, and it seemed ambiguous with you as well yesterday, the school is actually covering that unemployment, or if it's coming from the town. Just as if we do not pay back the town on health insurance claims, they cover.
It's not our nice audio.
Nope.
So that might be a good
These
thing
are
to
questions,
ask
right,
Evan
for
about.
Evan. So,
Okay. Class size programming, taking a look back, the reductions we're going to make are on top of the reductions that we made last year. So non-personnel, 162,000 for supplies, curriculum materials, tech software. It's not a area that we were flush in, so the 162 made things even tighter. And then we had the 6.5 FTE for personnel reductions.
Dr.
So,
Cummings, looking
yes.
back, though, we also received another 278,000 after that reduction that you didn't account
Yep,
for.
and that was through
And so,
circuit breaker.
correct,
right?
so,
You're right.
so
that
our
was-
total reduction from the original budget was 331, not 609.
I guess you could look at it that way. That 278 for circuit breaker adjustment was gobbled up by August 1st. It was gone because of 3 move-ins, all collaboratives in July, in the very beginning of August.
Okay, I'm just,
So that's just gone. So just
no, but
to
when
make
we
it
were looking
clear,
at the numbers,
yeah, I guess that's one way of looking at it. The other way is, did we bring any of these positions back?
no, you didn't.
0. So I just want to be clear, like these aren't things that we said we were going to reduce, didn't reduce, and are bringing back. I'd love to.
But in addition to that, we also had costs that were not budgeted for.
Yes, we're
That we
always
gave-
going to have costs that we're not budgeted for. Almost every day, there's something that comes up that has a cost that It would be like, magnified by a million, or millions, your home budget. You could come up with the greatest plan for next year, but every week something's going to go south on you. It just is. And we deal with that because we're exceptionally tight on top of everything else, literally almost every day.
Right, but I mean, we gave all the principals increases in salaries that were not accounted, that you did not budget for last year in the
Right.
budget.
With those, we wait till the budget's approved and then make any increases, typically in line with any teacher increase in terms of COLA.
Okay.
All right, so this is a slide I actually used with the leadership team, not changed at all. So when we start thinking about reductions, we don't put any paras on, with one exception that I'll speak to, because almost 100% of our paras are tied directly to IEPs and students, 1-to-1, 1-to-2, what have you. It's like the oldest principal trick in the world. You say, oh, I'm going to like 4 paras, and you don't really have a plan. We haven't even had the IEP meetings, and then the year starts, and you say, oh, I've got IEPs and I need paras, and we suddenly have to make reductions. And so we're not doing that. The only exception is we used to have paras, 1 para with each kindergarten classroom, and over the years we pulled back from that, so we have 4, 2 at each school. So I wouldn't want to pull that, but if we make that decision going forward, obviously the FTE would increase because those salaries are a little lower. We reduce what we say that we're going to reduce, whatever we come up for a plan. In 15 years, you won't find an example of me doing otherwise. I tried to keep this vague enough because this obviously isn't a big morale booster in any way, shape, or form, never mind in January. But I want to be upfront. Both Evan and I want to present, it's fundamentally what we're having is a discussion about level of services. If the town wants, on the municipal and school side, this level of service that is provided, if we don't pay for it, we're going to have an impact. It's not particularly tricky, unfortunately. And then finally, we try to keep the sister schools linked in terms of impact. So we don't want a class size of 28 at Millbury Street in grade 5 and a class size of 19 at North Street in grade 5. It's not always going to be perfect, but we really strive to, you wouldn't want to have band at one school and then the other school that's not offered, that type of thing. So my first take over the break was a reduction of, I titled them instructional staff, being purposefully, that could be a para, it could be a curriculum coordinator, it could be a teacher. Almost all, we're down to really 3 curriculum people. So that pot is not incredibly deep. The great majority of reductions that we make are going to be from the teaching staff. There's just no way around that. So at the secondary level right now, in my plan would be 7 FTE instructional staff and the same at the elementary level. I'm certainly not going to share positions or specifics, but I know a lot of the numbers, of course. So that 571 at the secondary level, I think, is an accurate representation of what those reductions would be. If we were, that's 14 individuals. If we were to reduce by 14, and if it's 20,000 to be set aside or reserved, at least in thought, for unemployment, that would total 280. That's an additional cost. It doesn't go towards the $1 million reduction. Any questions on this?
Dr. Cummings, yeah. So as you know, I've been speaking with you and Kathleen and members of the board in regards to our original budget. And we're going, and I guess this is, can I speak on this, Madam Chair? To talk of, because of how we're going to be doing, the original budget is now going to, you may have differentiated budgeting amounts. It's very difficult at this point to even, I believe, talk about a preliminary budget when, a preliminary reduction budget, when our first budget that you presented has not even been accurately reviewed by the entire committee or board and is currently going to be revamped.
And do you think there's a scenario where we being the committee, would ask for more than that initial ask of 50.5 million?
I'm thinking that there could be a chance where you're not going to be asking to cut 1.06, even if it's 40 grand, 50 grand, 70 grand, 100 grand, 200, like there could be a differentiated. So I just feel like this is a little, I can appreciate you saying that I want to cut 1.2 million. I cannot appreciate at this point in time stating of the reductions that you're stating, especially given the fact that in administrative salaries, contracts, it states that 3% increases, COLA increases would not be given if not financially able to. Yet in our budget currently, we're still showing those. So those would be like one of my first things I would be talking about cutting before I start talking about cutting people.
Okay, and that's a lovely discussion to have. That's really, in the grand scheme of things, that's the minutia. Like you talked to up to 200,000, that's 0.00395, 395,000th of our budget. It is. So,
But of your
And- and with the
reduction budget,
school
it's
committee-
not.
right. And I'm saying it's preliminary, and it may be, instead of 7.7, let's just go with you and say it's 6 and 6 and administration doesn't get paid or something. Lovely.
I didn't say
But the
administration doesn't get paid.
The idea is
Just so we're
certainly,
clear.
it's gonna be close. It is.
Okay.
There's no way around that. And I think in the spirit of what I think Evan and the committees are trying to do is have these discussions, not late like they did last year, but have them early. They're not going to be exact because it's January 6th, as I've said 18,000 times, but it's going to be pretty close. I'm super confident in that. And then down the road, we can have arguments or whatever. Like, people do need to be paid. We don't pay exceptionally well. We don't pay anyone exceptionally well. And I can speak to that all day long. We don't.
Dr. Cummings, I'm sorry. I would think that you're under the misinterpretation that I said not to pay administrators. That's not at all what I
Oh,
said.
just not an increase.
Not an increase if we cannot afford
I
one,
think
as
they
stated in their
probably
contract. But
have an
I mean,
issue
since we
with
just gave contract increases, but I'm not going to get into that at this point with
Okay.
you.
But I think in the grand scheme of things, I think that's small potatoes, to be quite honest.
Okay.
Any other questions on this one? I don't know how many more I have. Compounding issues. Block this out. As this is jumping ahead a little bit, but this is a reality. Like, I think part of my job is to give my best thinking around the reality. And if people like it, don't like it, I don't really care. But I've been doing this a long time. The visual, if you can see it, with the limited funding and dysfunctional, that goes back to about 12 years ago with our first override. And it basically lays out how, when districts fall apart, how it plays out. And this still holds true today. It won't be in the exact order, but you get the idea. Increased class sizes, reduced electives, reduction of maintenance, custodial, art, music, PE, then class sizes, you try to preserve pre-K through 4, but eventually, that's next, and it just keeps going. You can look at area districts. There are a number that you know off the top of your head. If you call and ask them, they will say, this is exactly how it plays out. Two big things for us, though, is as this plays out, and it won't be overnight, but it won't take long, is a loss of school choice funding. That's brought in millions, like 8+ million over the past decade. Kids are coming to us, largely Northbridge, Worcester. They're not coming from high-performing districts, and they just, have to drive to Grafton for some reason. They're escaping something, and Grafton's got a great reputation. We're super proud of that. But they're driving to and from every single day to be part of our community. That brings in, again, that revenue doesn't just go into like a rainy day fund. We're using it, and it bailed us out 2 years ago. But that's going to decrease. There's no question about it. Why would somebody drive from Northbridge to have equal class sizes, if not bigger, in Grafton? It just makes no sense. So that's a big factor. Probably equally, if not more significant financial impact will be an increase in our out-of-district placements. We keep a lot of kids in district because of the programming that we've built up over the past decade. Takes a lot of work. Our staff does a fantastic job at it, but we have under 1% of students out of district from Grafton. That's terrific. We're tuitioning in kids from other towns. Once class sizes, again, get larger, programming decreases, there is 0% chance that trend doesn't reverse. So financially, those are two big things. The third thing is relatively new in that the first two we've been talking about for a decade. Growing enrollment is something that we've talked about for the past few years. It's definitely concerning. What I have before you, I'll read a little bit of it, is from NESDEC. That's the group that focuses on school enrollment. So if you contract with them, they come in, they work with the town side, they look at census numbers, birth rates, all of the building going on in any given town, and they give you a full report. Typically, districts do it every 5 years. We had them come in 24. It was just like 2 years into our 5-year cycle, and said, because of all of the development going on, can you give us an update? And they did that. So this is from April of 2024. The approved housing projects may generate an additional 252 to 328 students in grades K through 5. That's a lot of kids right there. 72 to 93 students in grades, I can't read it, 6. Sorry, this thing's in my way. Oh, gosh.
6 to 8.
Hold on. Give me a second. Oh, 68. Thanks. God.
It's over
It's
now.
over.
We ruined it
Over.
by being.
Oh, you guys
old.
can
Would've
still
been
see it?
funny.
I can't.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah, 6 to 8. We're good.
Stuck
You
on
can't,
that.
maybe it's a
No.
you thing, Dr. Cummings.
Yeah, it's a you thing.
It's stuck. What's stuck?
Yeah.
The
it's
slide?
stuck.
Everything. Everything
Mm.
is stuck.
Oh my gosh, this is not our tech night. Share.
Turning it on and off again, I think.
Is it plugged in?
Ugh, bummer. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah,
There you go.
well, you do that, we'll talk.
Ah,
about
here we
6,
go.
7. Oh,
6 through 8 and 36 to 46 kids, students in grades 9 through 12 over the next 2 to 5 years. Obviously, that was in 24. So we're on the precipice of all of that coming into play. You've certainly driven around town and you see all the construction taking place, and it's not small construction. So that's like on the brink of happening. Out of purely curiosity, I really hadn't been, I knew we always have kids coming in, but we always have kids leaving too. I hadn't really paid a lot of attention to it. Okay, here we go. This is new student enrollment from December 15th. So from July 1st to December 15th. That's a lot of kids, guys. And that's largely not the new developments because they're still in development. So we've had 168 students move in and only 35 move out in that time frame. So that plus 133 is significant. All this simply ties to the struggle. And when I think ahead and lay out future class sizes, a 27 isn't going to be a 27. I can't guarantee it's going to be a 29. I'd love to tell you, obviously, that I could wave a magic wand and have all the kids that come in, I could sprinkle them evenly. It just, obviously, it doesn't work like that. Like our middle school in particular, that jump of 2 grades went up 28 kids in a matter of months. That's significant. So,
Jay,
yes,
can I pause here just for
100%.
a couple questions? I don't want you to have to go back, but so that NESDAQ information, I do feel like that's new information for us. The last time we talked about this, we were not,
Okay. Yeah.
No, I'm not saying this is like the first, but I mean, when we talked about it as a committee, I am fairly certain we have never, only because I remember online conversations that members were having about how the new development wasn't going to impact, like,
Right.
impact the
about
schools, right? I'm
services.
Yeah,
not
no,
going
no,
nuts, right?
Laura's correct.
I mean, I might be, but not because of this. So I feel like this is kind of a bigger thing that things really did shift because I think we've told people in the past that this wasn't,
An issue.
not that anybody ever comes to school committee before
Mm-hmm.
development happens or anything, that we have anything to do with that. But I do want to note that this, I think to me, was a surprise when I heard it for the first time, and it might be a surprise. Now you're looking at me, but
Yeah, it was actually from the school committee. It was a school committee that I work for, that
a school committee.
What?
I-
work?
Wait, I'm sorry.
like, I was definitely given direction by somebody to have NESDEC
Yes.
come back.
Oh,
and
yeah, for
look at it.
sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
This is that.
I'm not
The last
imagining.
time they were here, though, that was not their projection.
No, but that's
what
why
I'm
we had
saying.
them come back. No,
Right.
correct. And
Okay.
to be clear, it's over that next 2 to 5 years where,
Yeah.
again, if you were to be able to sprinkle that out by grade over 5 years evenly, you can be like, okay, it's not.
Right,
great.
no, I'm totally on that. I'm just saying,
but-
I think for the public, like, I don't think we've gone, I don't feel like
Okay.
we've totally discussed this private.
We've talked about
Previously?
it, but very much like Jay said, in that, it'll be such that we can absorb it.
Yeah. It'll
I
be
think in
minimal,
our
yeah.
current scenario, we cannot absorb
Yes,
it.
thank you.
I think
Yeah.
that's
A lot
the
of it
issue.
does.
Thank you.
I don't know if I put.
Yeah.
I can make sure I put that memo. It was like a 3-page,
Yeah.
like
We
extra memo, but I'll
100%
put it
did
in
it. Yeah.
because it also, it's somewhat speculative, no matter what,
Of course.
because a lot of times people put in for, I want to do this development, and they decide not to do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, no, we
But
know.
you guys
It's
driving
forever.
around town, it's
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to be clear that I don't think you like. I'm
Oh,
not
okay.
saying
I
to
was-
me
I
this
thought
was like
you'd
a
never heard
shock
of
or
it.
any. No,
Oh,
no, no.
okay.
I'm just saying in the past when we've talked about this in a large group to the town, we had different information. Now this is newer information. I'm not shocked. Like you
Okay.
informed us. You've done everything right. I think this information might be new to other people when we're thinking
Understood.
long-term and in the larger purposes when everybody in this town acts as a silo, number one.
Yep.
Number two, my question, and I should know this, and I do kind of know this, but I want to know what you think. When we get new enrollment, how much does that translate into funding from the state? I know not a lot, but sometimes people, like, I know when we lose enrollment, we lose money. So is
Yep.
there any money coming?
So per student, it's typically from $30 up in a year, between 30 and 100 generally.
Okay.
Per
I mean, not
student.
enough.
not-
So that's
all-
when we
oh,
talk
no.
about that, that's that money.
Oh,
When we
no.
talk about, oh, we're
That
going to get
was great.
$100 per student, that's what we're thinking. It's not additional money for new growth, right?
No.
Thank you. Okay,
And then
I gotcha.
I'm going to state the obvious,
No,
but
please do.
in a normal year, if you will, with
Yeah.
stable, pretty good class sizes, we can handle. I mean, we've had an increase this year. We're not
Yeah.
saying, oh my gosh, but if we're reducing by 14 staff or 12 staff or whatever it is, driving up class sizes already,
Right.
that's something that needs to be.
And it doesn't get
Consider.
encumbered by the new people coming in with their homes, paying extra taxes. It just doesn't work that way.
Correct.
Thank you. Now, if you're working for another school committee, do you like them
No,
better? Is
I
that-
thought you were saying like this, you've never heard of this. I'm
No,
like,
no,
oh
no,
my
no.
God.
I'm sorry I miscommunicated.
No, I
just was-
probably.
No,
misunderstood.
we're on the same page
I'm
now,
sure
though.
he does like them
Thank-
better.
And then we obviously talked about,
If you were gonna rank.
I guess that's another question. So based on the new enrollment, does that change the funding projection that we would receive since they're?
so it's like, because we're a minimal aid district and every year we'll get an additional $30 to $100 per kid. It doesn't impact us really at all. It's like under 100,000.
And then I remember you talking about like the per pupil spend that we do.
Yep. Want me to talk about that?
Yeah.
Ah,
so that would
I'd
probably
love
fit
to.
into-
I even have some backup slides. I love when it works out like this. So I took the most updated DESI information about per pupil expenditures. And what the state does is actually an annual report.
Make it bigger.
I can't. You're going
The
to,
entire thing's gonna crash.
no,
Stop.
it's small. I'll tell you the things to look for. There are 318 districts in the state of Massachusetts, okay? And per pupil is the one apples to apples comparison where they take all of the expenditures that a district has and divide it by their number of students, okay? So we can be compared to a Wellesley, wherever. And that includes, no matter how it's handled, insurance. So health insurance, like the town, the municipal side handles health insurance for us. Some other districts, I don't know, I'm making this, I don't know what Shrewsbury does, but let's pretend that the school staff handles health insurance there. It doesn't matter. It gets lumped in. And it's all in the year-end report, and that's where the auditors come every summer and go through your year-end report. So it's the best apples to apples comparison of where you stand. So I took the most updated data, it's always trailing, and I put page numbers. There are 15 pages. So as I go through this, what you're going to first look for is the state average in yellow. Oh, this is great. Pay attention.
Can't see anything. What am I paying attention to?
Well, it doesn't matter. You can just, there's about 25. It starts with Provincetown. That's always the most expensive because of travel stuff. Martha's Vineyard's up there, Truro. But we're talking like $48,000 per kid. All right, we're in page 2. So you're getting comfortable, but you're looking for the state average, where performance-wise, we aim to be at or above with everything we do. All right, we're in the 3rd page. Each page, again, has about 25. There's Conway, Nauset, Dedham's up there, Mattapoisett. Oh, page 4.
It's like a bedtime
Great
story.
Falmouth, Holyoke. Oh, wealthy Holyoke, which is luxurious Harvard. Keep going. We're on page 5. Still, you don't see the state average yet. Amesbury, Sherburne, that's really nice. Page 6, Wareham. I've been to Wareham. Brockton, Wayland. Okay. Oh, here we are. Page 7, the state average. Okay. So you'll note that not one area district, because that's the next thing you're going to look for in green, the area district. State average is 21,885. Again, adding everything up, divide by the number of students. So we're now under the state average. Page 8, still nothing. Now you're looking for regional districts. Those are in green, like our neighbors. Fall River, Hatfield. Oh, here we go. Page 9, we've got Westboro, $20,421.83 per student. Followed not too far behind by Millbury. That's a big move. Most, I can talk to it, but there's very little actual movement in these year after year. And then Mendon Upton, all on page 9 at 19,986. Page 10, we just keep on going. Then we've got Sutton showing up at 223 out of 318 at 19,100. And then nothing. We've got Blackstone, Millville, Oxford on this page. Here we go to Shrewsbury, page 13. I think they're probably, like, if I aspired, I'd love to have Truro's money or something, but Shrewsbury kills it in terms of performance and efficiency. Not as well by desperation that we do, but that's always impressed me. They're at $17,838 per kid. Page 14, we get to Northbridge. Famously struggling Northbridge used to be fantastic and has been struggling ever since. The majority of our school choice kids are coming from Northbridge. They're at $17,465. Finally, oh, there we are. We're 12th from the bottom at $16,585 per student. I don't know too much about the districts underneath us. I know Frank Rothwell went to Acushnet. They're dead last. I don't know how they do it. I would bet my last cent that we're outperforming in every way, every district that's around us on this chart, but we are solidly in the basement. So that's why I struggle with when people say, I have no issue if somebody doesn't think that, let's say I as superintendent allot money to the wrong places, but the thought that we as a district comparatively overspend is the most ridiculous thing ever. To give a little context, Stella, if we received the state average for funding, every year we'd have a check for $16.4 million every year. I mean, it blows your mind. I won't bore you with all of them, but if you go down to Northbridge, which is struggling mightily, it would be an additional $2.7 million every single year. Like, we are so far behind, and there's no way, we're not catching up. I won't even say in my lifetime, in your lifetime, even in your lifetimes. To move, even to get to a Northbridge, we'd need not only to have level service, but annually an additional over 2.7 million. That's never going to happen. Any real movement that we see, if we're 12th or 13th, we've been dead last some years, is we really move up when other districts move down. We'll move, if we don't have an override, we are going to move down. Can't move down too much further, but we will. Unless others, also move down with us. So it's depressing, but is there anything that I missed that you want me to cover?
Nope, I just need a
Okay.
refresher.
Okay.
Good refresher for all. Thank you, Stella. Anyone have anything else?
Oh, wait, Dr. Cummings, this that you gave us today, is this
Yep.
this what you just presented on?
Yes.
You had the 25,000 on here, you didn't have it on there in regards to the principal? Did you take that off?
Nope. It was 25,000 out of
No, keep going back.
1 point something million.
No, because you changed the bottom line total to the one.
Oh, because that's what I'm putting before you. I don't want
Okay.
it to make
All right.
everything add up. But yeah, we'll probably end up putting that. We're going to find
Other things.
small efficiencies and add them. Obviously, we don't want to reduce any staff, but we can. You see how low we are. We can make the mistake, and probably already have, of cutting. We have no margin, and we're really good at cutting that margin more and then hoping it all works out. Like, we are, as of December, we are essentially out of money for roof and HVAC, which might not sound like that big of a deal, but our roofs are terrible. And we spend an inordinate amount of time chasing leaks, and who wants that in any way for comfort, health? If something happens, we're gonna have to make it work, but we don't have school choice funds to go to. We're out. HVAC, that's a big deal. We have a unit on the high school roof, in the discussion that ties to one of the computer labs. Do we move the computer lab? Like, we don't have money to fix it. We don't have a quote yet, but it's gonna be over 100,000. We definitely don't have the money to fix it. Okay, now what? And maybe we move the class, but we don't have extra classes either, empty classes. We've got to somehow share classroom space or something. And it's not December, it's January 6th. So cutting things, whether it's the SEL, whoever does the SEL responsibilities, maybe we just don't do SEL oversight.
That is
I don't know.
levels. I mean, that's a reduction.
I mean,
in
we don't have a
services.
lot of things. I know you guys know that. We don't have an assistant superintendent. In a district this size, you don't see that. We don't have an HR director. That's borderline insanity. I know it was my idea, and I'm making it work, kind of. We've got 2 curriculum people. We don't have enough supports for staff. Everybody's doing their very best, but stretched super thin. So just the thought that we're overspending is just so ridiculous to me.
And I think that's where, at least for me, this is my 3rd time through this, and I have a lot of faith in the work that's been done over the years, I've watched you go through 2 overrides, a pandemic, working with multiple finance directors, and I have a lot of confidence in what you've brought to us. I think for me, and I know I've heard it, there's always that group of people, like, when you said that slide, like, if we had the additional whatever to whatever millions it would be, like, we never get to have that conversation.
Not
And
even 200,000, forget
like
2.6
to ask
million.
what, we once upon a time we did some things. Every time we add, we have to kind of take them back. Like over the years, like we've
Oh, yeah.
been able to grow. We do tremendous work. The ROI is, which you didn't even mention,
Yeah,
is
that's
is
awesome.
so
As you
amazing.
said, like, our staff couldn't do a
No,
better
and that's
job.
it. But I think sometimes when we hear, because I think people are like, why don't we ask for more? It's because we always seem to have to start with the you guys are overspending argument, and then by the time we get to we're just trying to get to level service, and it is frustrating because I think we all would love to see we don't get that opportunity on this committee to really talk about a budget, right? We get to give you a number, but we don't get to debate, hey, what if we could ask for an extra 5 million and
Right,
add,
and do a,
whatever we
you
would get
know,
to do with that.
bilingual program or
or
something. Yeah.
strings or whatever, all those things. So I don't remember, I had a real good point, but I think the point is, it's just,
It's coming, Laura.
it's coming, Christy, I know. It's something brilliant. The brilliant thing is, I would like to skip ahead. I would like to skip past because this is the same conversation we had last year.
Oh,
The
agreed.
reductions, people know what they are because we put them out last year. Like nothing is really,
Except it'll be worse.
it'll be worse. It'll be worse. Thank you. Thanks, Leora, for that. So I hope to skip ahead. I'd like to skip this and get to the part where people, and I know that's hard. I know it's a lot to ask, especially in this world right now, to ask people to pay more. That's not something I ever take
Oh,
for
yeah.
granted. I would love us to be able to go into that as, hey, we have now for 2 years done everything we can. We have done, and that was a poor decision, right? We made 2 years ago, we're like, we're gonna spend down our revolvers. That's not what you should do, right? That's not the best budgeting skills. Even I know that. So we've done a lot of things already, and I just want to get, and I know you're giving me, but I want to get to the place, I guess I'm talking to our committee, where we start with, we've done this work,
Yeah.
and this is what we need, and we're, again, only coming for level service. And my youngest is graduating this year. We're asking for the same services that he got when he was in kindergarten. For kids now, the world is completely different since my son was in kindergarten. Their challenges are way more than what my son faced. And we're still just asking, let's do it again for level service.
But to add to that, I would say we're still killing it. We're
Yes.
meeting or exceeding the
thank
state
you.
average in every metric. Our kids do well. Our kids get good jobs after school or go to good colleges or, have opportunities. We're still managing to really outperform
Yes.
what we spend, but but we're not
How
able
much
to.
do you
Right.
ask when
Oh,
then you're,
yeah.
reducing, now teachers are bringing
Oh,
on
yeah.
more.
It is
Well,
not-
no.
Now we're
it's
talking
not
about,
happening.
we're going to have to cut the meager, possible raises that our admin get when they're now dealing with upset it compounds. There's only so much you can ask, and we ask so much already, and this will be my annual thank you to everybody. So I just, wow, I don't know. Oh, God, I'm sorry if I violated your rules.
No, you didn't. I mean,
Okay.
you assumed good intent. You weren't.
I
You
did.
didn't demean any of the work that's been done. You're not inflaming anyone.
No.
But we're passionate about it, and I
It's just-
appreciate the work that's been done to date. As you said, 18 times or more, Jay. This is January 6th. I'm just thankful we're talking about these things way earlier than we were last time. Because I think it's important that people know, all right, the details are going to change, but the big picture is, without a source of additional income, which in our case is an override because of the limits on, the tax levy, it will be catastrophic. This district doesn't look the same. It certainly doesn't get better, doesn't continue to improve. It's
Yeah,
catastrophic.
our
And I think
level of services
it's-
definitely decreases significantly.
it's
No
important for
question
people
about
to understand that
it. And
now
take it or leave it.
and pay attention. So thank you for doing this work to date,
Right.
knowing it's a living document.
Yeah, and
Oh,
I'm
definitely.
grateful to our friends downstairs because I know they're also talking
Yeah.
about it, and I know they're also, they were asked to come up with a recommendation, and if their recommendation is no, we don't want, we want, that's going to be a conversation then we'll have,
Yeah.
So we need to wait and hear and hopeful they'll, and then we're going to have to advocate and do our best to educate and make people pay attention because there's a lot going on.
Yes. I suppose downstairs they could decide to just fully fund us, but
They could.
I don't know how.
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
I don't know.
Hmm.
But wow, that would be great. Dare to dream.
Right, but Grafton's not a flush. Okay, sorry.
So anyway,
Madam Chair.
yeah.
I would just like to inform the committee, as I had briefly gone over just a second ago, just so that everybody is on the same page and is aware, because of whatever. I'm going to be meeting with Kathleen per Dr. Cummings' recommendation on probably a weekly basis as this budget is being developed, in accordance to basically how Evan had stated it would be developed. So I just wanted to let everybody have the same knowledge.
Okay. Thank you. Jay, anything else?
Nope.
All right. I don't even know how we continue a meeting after that. Go
I
ahead.
have a question.
Yeah, yeah.
Next week, so Leora, is this an appropriate time to ask about? So we're meeting next week.
With-
Do you, with the
With the
select
select board.
board, just the two of us? Or is,
Just the two
Two
boards,
groups.
yes.
just the two?
Just Laura and I. Nobody else can come.
No, it's just me and Matt. We're gonna meet. No, I'm sorry. I'm like just the two,
Just the two boards.
groups. What do we know what the agenda is yet? Like, what are we prepared? Are we bringing something? Are we listening? Are we discussing? Do we know? Yes.
Yes. It's still to be determined,
Okay.
but
You're still
I
working it
think,
out with
yeah, I'm
Mr.
working it out
Jefferson.
with Mr. Jefferson. I think given that Evan wasn't able to join us at this meeting, I think a part of the meeting is going to have to be him sharing.
Can I
some of
ask
the-
though? Was he going to share anything different with us than he shared with the finance committee? Do we know?
I don't know.
Because
I can't.
we
speak
might
that,
want
'cause
to
you're right.
ask because
Yeah.
we could do our
We could do our due
we could do our due.
diligence,
I mean,
But it would be good for our board to be able to ask him questions.
But yeah, right.
Right.
yeah, no, I
But-
know we could ask
but,
questions.
our
but we
own
could- yeah,
board to meet with him.
yeah. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
I guess my other question, just from experience, is just a lot of times then we get the look, right? So make sure that Jay is prepared
What look?
to get the look from like, okay, schools.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, we're not going to just show up and be like, "Hi, we're here.
I
We
know
have
we never
prepared
do.
nothing."
We're always prepared, always prepared, but just
Yes.
okay. Thank you.
course.
Sorry, God, I don't know.
Okay.
It's January 6th.
I know it is
not my
January
favorite day.
6th. Everybody's
Oh.
circling back.
It's a couple of birthdays today, though. Laura's daughter's birthday.
Wow.
Oh,
Shout out to Elliot
shout out to
Gladstone.
Elliot. I love that. Okay.
All right, student reps, I hate to turn the mic over to you after that depressing discussion, but make us happy with cool happenings.
Yeah, we don't have many updates as we just got back from our winter break, but this Thursday, Grafton DECA will be competing at districts at Nichols College. And Student Council had a very successful winter clothing drive, donating over 1,000 items to local charities in Massachusetts.
Awesome. Great.
That's it. Not much.
Well, and you can follow the new Grafton Public Schools Facebook page to find out all other great
Mm.
things
All
that
happenings.
are happening throughout all the schools. Like I learned we have like an active firefighter. That is awesome.
It is really awesome.
Amazing. And so cool. So,
Awesome.
plug.
Well, thank you both.
Be careful. I don't know if it's
Yeah,
like-
I don't
is
know
it-
what the
Yeah.
weather
It
is.
sounded so loud.
Just a second ago.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
could hear it outside.
Like
I
a
thought there
wintry
might,
mix.
so drive,
Yeah,
just
just be
go
careful.
slow, slow, slow.
All right.
Thanks.
Do you want to stay?
Bye, guys. Drive carefully.
Thank you, guys. All right, calendar, future calendar. We made some changes on the fly
For
here,
future
so yeah.
agenda.
Future
Okay.
agenda. I don't think there's anything other than moving.
In Nicole,
Nicole,
obviously,
yeah.
to the 20th.
Yeah. I think that's it.
So
Anyone?
on the, sorry,
Yeah.
while we're talking about calendars, on the 27th, are we meeting with the select board as well? Is that what I've kind of
If
heard?
we need that meeting, yes. If we
Okay,
feel
so
like we
block
have
it
to
off on
resolve
our-
things.
on
I
our
would
own.
Hold it, yes.
Okay.
When is the special education coming?
The 20th.
20th, okay.
Yep,
And CPAC?
yes.
Okay.
Do you want to reach out to them
Yeah,
Paula,
I just
as the
wasn't sure.
liaison? I forgot it was your liaison, you were the liaison, so yeah, just make sure they're available and
Yeah, one
able.
year when we came in, it was nice to be back to back.
Yes, I
Yeah,
think
so I
it
like
makes
that.
a lot of sense,
Mhm,
actually.
yeah.
Okay,
You know what I wish, I know it's not on here, and it's
What?
never been presented before, but a PTO, PTG presentation, like a joint one, to tell us like all that they're doing for the,
oh, that's interesting.
for the
They used to.
district.
We did used
Way
to, we
back
took
when.
it off, yeah.
I forget when.
Yeah.
It was when they did the school report.
They would come with
Yeah.
with North or Millbury.
Oh,
But I would just think on their own, like, we're doing all X, Y, and Z,
Yeah, I mean, they
Find
do,
a date and I'll make.
like a
plans.
joint,
yeah, they do a lot of great work. and I
Right,
think
it would be good to be
especially-
recognized in how
Yeah.
the school committee.
Especially in a override year when
Yeah.
people ask,
It
you
would be
know,
nice to have them,
Yeah.
right,
how-
how much work they
how
do
much
to
they've been doing,
supplement.
and
yeah.
I wonder if on February 24th, when we
Might be.
have the NGES and SGES
That might be
updates, maybe we can have them join us then too.
nice. Yeah.
Sure.
the two presidents from each.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Want me to work on that?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Do you guys want to hear a funny anecdote about when I had to come and do that? Yes.
Go,
You
yeah,
Please.
do.
okay.
So, many years ago, I came before the school committee, and one of the members asked us like about Pi Day,
Mhm.
and I just like completely like looked like completely blank because of course it was math, and I was like, Pi Day,
Like,
what the hell are you talking about? Like March 14th? And I'm like, you know, they do things, and
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like, and to this day, like my former co-chair, shout out Cindy Brown, she still makes fun of me, like, oh, it's Pi Day. Like it was like, I was like,
did you think they were talking about like pie you eat?
well, and it is, but I
Oh.
just had no idea what she was talking about.
That's funny.
I'm gonna ask about Pi Day.
Laura, you might be shocked to hear this, but I make a pie on Pi Day, and the crust is the numbers of pi over the top of the
That
pie.
does
I
not
will
shock me
expect,
at all.
I will expect the
Put
pie.
all the numbers around it?
Mhm,
sounds
like as the
delicious.
crust.
Yeah.
3.14 blah,
Mm,
blah,
blah,
blah.
blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yep, we keep going.
Really? Out
Mhm.
of crust?
Yep.
I know. I can't even make a crust.
Is there no end to your talent?
That is,
She doesn't sleep.
that is the end.
She just bakes things and does math.
I wouldn't
Yep.
make a nice pie.
No,
No,
not yet.
No, we just have gotten way off
Very good
track.
question.
I wish
But-
I did on the pie conversation.
Yeah, you want in on it, I get it,
There's
we
an
all,
aspect to that too.
huh?
You ever heard of Pie Alley in Boston?
Yes.
Yes.
PI,
Yeah,
you know what it stands for? You know why it's called that?
why?
Don't throw these hard pie questions at us.
Oh, I lived near there, so all the publishing was right near there.
Oh.
And typeset, I guess, is called Pie, and I guess it wasn't super reusable, and they would just throw it out the windows
Ah,
into the alley, and that's why it's called Pie Alley.
That's amazing.
Wow.
I remember that one from a long time ago.
That is very cool.
Thank you.
The meeting is still going.
Everybody is
That's
learning.
why I wanted to keep it, pedagogical and all that.
So it's okay to rear off a little bit.
It's
Madam
okay.
Chair, right?
Yes,
Bring us back.
I am like nothing
of
if not
order.
flexible. All right. Approval of minutes. We do have minutes to
Yes.
approve, and I will take a motion.
Madam Chair, I'd like to approve the minutes dated December 9th, 2025. as written.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any questions, comments,
No.
discussion? All right, seeing none, all in favor? Did anyone have any questions on the warrants for
No.
this week? Okay, great. There is no need for, do you guys have policy?
No.
No, the only thing is, Dr. Cummings, I'd still like that, at some point, the next time you send a newsletter, to include members, Laura?
What am
Yeah,
I
no, I
including?
did ask him.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
Ask me again.
You're gonna put in the newsletter that the policy's updated and put a
here's a
link.
link to
But
all
you
that.
haven't
Oh,
sent
yeah.
out, you didn't do a general
done it.
newsletter.
Okay.
Maybe you could do a Facebook post.
Oh, I do that too. Definitely I'll do
Both,
that.
do both.
Yeah.
Oh,
you're on
right,
top
I
of
was
it.
gonna
Yeah.
Yeah.
take all the pieces and
And-
put them together
yeah,
into
With
a
a
newsletter.
newsletter. Yeah, but you haven't
Got
done
it.
that. No, but he is on board with that.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah. I did ask him. I don't
Yeah,
want you
yeah,
to
you
think I
did.
didn't ask.
Excellent.
forgot.
All right, we have no correspondence, but we do need executive session, so I will take a motion for
I'm gonna
that.
have to ask somebody else to make, I don't have my, I have no
Madam-
electronic.
Madam
Yes.
Chair, I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session and adjourn this meeting.
Is
Is that how you do it?
to
Make a motion to
share
adjourn the meeting? I don't know. What am
you
I
have to
supposed to do?
share the purpose. All right.
Oh, I
will
don't know
do
what
it.
I don't have it open.
All right.
Never mind.
I guess I'll make a motion
Yeah, you make the motion. I don't have it open.
to adjourn the meeting and go into executive session to investigate charges of criminal misconduct or to consider the filing of criminal complaints.
Perfect.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, and good night,
Roll
Graf.
call.
Oh, yeah, we have to do a roll call vote. Sorry, Stella.
Stella Verlis, aye.
Christy Kibelzinski, aye.
Laura Often, aye.
Leora Brom, aye. Good night, Grafton.
Good night, thank you.